Good day, champions. Welcome to Unlearn How You Earn with your host, John Melvin. This is the show where we talk about different strategies and options consumers and professionals can use to either get out of debt or accumulate their cash flow. And today, we're here with a special guest, Don Douglas, who's here to talk to us about the importance of life insurance. Welcome, Don.
Hi, how are you today?
She's so professional. Now, Don has, she not only does life insurance, but you also do mobile notary, is that correct?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been doing mobile notary for?
For a year now.
For a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And are you someone that people should reach out to?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
So talk to us. Is mobile notary, I know a fact that I tried to get things notarized. The challenging part is sometimes with different places, they charge a lot of money. One time I tried to contact a mobile notary individual I saw on the website, and it was like, I think they wanted like $90 just to, do the mobile notary. But I understand that your business that you have for mobile notary is a lot more consumer friendly. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I believe in making it easy and convenient and affordable for every client to get whatever they need notarized. So by keeping my prices low and making sure I come to them, it allows them to not even have to leave the comfort of their own home to get documents notarized.
Well, that's all right. And especially when you go to them for mobile notary, this is something that she is a liaison in as well, which is the importance of life insurance. And a lot of people know life insurance being important, but you literally have a concept or strategy that you'd like to share and talk to us about why life insurance is so important. But talk to us about life insurance. I mean, why is it so important?
Life insurance is important because it gives your family peace of mind. If something happens to you, they know that there's a policy in place. And during their time of bereavement, that's one less thing that they have to worry about.
Exactly.
You have a lot of families out here that are struggling because if something happens, the first thing they always say is, we didn't expect this person to pass. Well, nobody really expects it, but it is a fact of life. And you have families out here that are having to do fish fries, car washes, and GoFundMes, and they don't even realize that they could get an affordable policy so that they don't have that struggle and burden when things like this happen.
Gotcha. Now, talk to us about the different types of life insurance policies out there.
All right, so there's 5 different types of life insurance. You have term, you have permanent, you have indexed universal life, you have variable universal life, and you have whole life.
Gotcha. And then with the different types of policies out there, how do someone know which policy is good for them?
The best thing to do is sit down with an agent so that you can actually talk about what your long-term goal is, because there's no one-size-fits-all policy.
Okay.
So every client has different needs, so that way, like I said, sitting down with an agent, you can discuss what your financial situation is, you can discuss what your long-term goal is, and from there, you and your agent can devise a plan that's really going to be beneficial to you and your family.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. A lot of people really don't have insurance. We don't have enough. I mean, I think I read somewhere where it's like 45% of Americans don't have life insurance, which is a huge number. What exactly, price-wise, what will you be looking at for price? Is it expensive? Is it inexpensive?
Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people actually do think life insurance is so expensive, and that's not really the case.
Okay.
It all depends on the type of policy that you get. But I always talk to my clients, the ones who say it may be a little bit too expensive for them. I talk to them about getting a small amount of coverage to begin with, which is going to equate to a low monthly premium, because it's better to have a policy in place already than nothing at all.
Gotcha.
Because once you already have a policy with that company, you can actually increase the amount later, or you can switch over to a different kind of policy that's offered by that company because you're already a client. The worst thing you can do is wait, and then your health takes a decline. or you get a little bit older and then the premium is going to be more expensive. So it's always better to start off with a small, affordable policy and then increase as time goes on.
That makes sense. Now, I'm going to bring this up because we had a little conversation in the green room before we got on set, and you were talking to me about kind of intergenerational wealth, and you were talking to me about how the community could really rally and use life insurance as a tool to make sure that a family doesn't struggle from one generation to another generation to another generation. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Absolutely. In creating generational wealth is a concept that the wealthy has been using for decades now through the form of life insurance.
Wow.
By getting a policy, and like I said, increasing it as you can afford to increase it, you have that luxury of having money to be able to pass on to your family. A prime example, Master P's grandfather left him a $10,000 insurance policy when he passed, and Master P actually used that money to create his business, and it allowed him to be able to become worth $250 million just off a $10,000 policy. So that's how you begin to create generational wealth. You get a decent policy put in place, and when something happens to you, you're able to pass down that money so that your family, they're not buried in debt. They're not struggling with trying to, start a business or do whatever it is that they have aspirations of doing, because they have the funds available through life insurance. That is how the wealthy set their families up. They get these policies, they make sure they have these set up so that when they pass, they have extra money to pass along to their families.
Wow, that's key, because even when you were talking, I was thinking about some of the major purchases that we do as adults, and I kind of heard you say before that a lot of people they will buy homes. And they might buy a $200,000, $300,000 home, and they might be paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month for that home, or they might go out and buy a car, and they might buy a $40,000 vehicle, and maybe have monthly payment is $500 a month or so. But if you buy a $250,000 policy, now it's I guess the way to look at it is, by buying life insurance is really you're buying money. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like buying money on sale, like discount dollars.
Absolutely.
So when someone has life insurance, say $250,000, on a range, what do you think a $250,000 policy on a 30-year-old would cost? Roughly.
Probably about $50 a month.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is $50 a month, you're saying that you could buy $250,000 of monies and only pay $50 a month. Listen, people buy homes for $250,000 and pay $1,000. That's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
That's a huge difference. Now, who's more important, the home or the life?
The life, because if the life ceases to exist, everything else vanishes.
Who's more important, the plastic car or the life?
The life.
Wow, and it's crazy how, while you were speaking, I was thinking about all the things that we spend insurance on. We go into the consumer, we buy phones. We don't walk out of the phone store without buying what?
Insurance on the phone.
We don't walk out of Best Buy without buying insurance on a computer.
Or even a TV.
Even a TV. We insure every single thing that we care about. But 41% of Americans don't insure their lives. Now, I think that I think they do care about their lives. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Do you think the lack of education is why?
I know the lack of education is why.
So exactly what is your goal in order to, say, make sure that those numbers of 41, 42, 45% get lower and lower and lower?
Education, talking to people on a regular basis. I believe the more knowledge people have in understanding the importance and the cost, more people will start to actually get policies. And then you have situations where somebody might have diabetes and they think they can't get covered.
Gotcha.
But they don't know that there's companies out there that will cover them.
Wow.
Or you have our senior citizens who think that they're too old for a policy. And they don't know that there's policies out there that will cover them. So education is absolutely key.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that we had this segment. I'm glad we had you in the studio. I want to thank you for coming in, But most importantly, how can they get in touch with you? How can the consumers get in touch with you if they have questions about either notary or life insurance?
They can look me up on Facebook, RBG Mobile Notary. I have that business page on there. And Dawn Douglas, NBU Life Insurance Broker and NBU Affiliate. That page is on there as well. Or they can reach me at 702-330-5706.
And what about email?
Email dawn@nbuagency.com.
Well, there you have it. I think we should definitely, as a community, come together, know the importance, leave money behind, leave a legacy, intergenerational wealth. We're here with Dawn Douglas. Thank you for coming down, and we're looking forward to the next time we can have you in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time.